Welcome to another episode of Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock, or as I should say, ding, ding, ding. I didn't get the bell sound effect. I didn't.
Exactly. You still gotta get that.
I've had so much shit to do this week. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we don't repeat last week. Mics are unmuted.
mics are unmuted. Yes, mics are definitely unmuted. Well, Mike is unmuted. Now mics are unmuted. Mike is unmuted. Yeah. Last week, for those of you who were listening, probably didn't hear the first 3 minutes of our talking.
Yeah.
But, you know, life happens. Even to us pros.
Exactly.
Jeez. That's the cold, refreshing sound of a Bush Ice. Bush Ice. Because I bought it. I'm talking about it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go grab a heart.
Now, I know the WWE or the UFC doesn't really mess with alcohol like that. But I do.
He does.
UFC does?
Oh yeah, every event is sponsored by Modelo.
Right. I can't afford that expensive shit.
Yeah.
Well, I probably could, but I would grudge it. I would be buying it begrudgingly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, am I really paying this much? Oh, I know I can afford it, but damn. Oh,
Yeah,
Lee.
exactly.
So, like, maybe next year we might be in the running for award-winning podcasters. We just got to get our listener total up.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that should be made. Suggestions should be made. Not just because I podcast, but because I podcast. And you're listening to Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock. So, we got a lot that's happened over the past week in Raw and SmackDown. There's no pay-per-view this week, and we also had the first live NXT broadcast.
Yeah, that was the biggie. That was, spoilers. That was, for me, that was show of the week.
Well, I'm just catching up on things as we speak now because, like I said, between podcasts and recordings and like programs and this stuff, I don't know where this week has gone. Like, I have no clue.
I feel you on that.
Okay.
Alright, let's get into Raw.
Raw. Bray Wyatt confronted Universal Champion Seth Rollins from the Firefly Funhouse, University of Tennessee. Going into Raw, the question was how Universal Champion Seth Rollins would respond to the attack from the Fiend Bray Wyatt. And indeed, following the show opening address where the Beast Slayer gave due credit in Braun Strowman for their match the previous night, the champion seemingly acknowledged that the confrontation with Wyatt was horrifying alter ego was inevitable. But that was about as far as Rollins got before Wyatt changed the narrative, appearing on the Titantron to address the newfound foe from the confines of the Firefly Funhouse. Sporting his signature cardigan and his ear-to-ear grin, Wyatt implied that the Fiend might have more to say on the matter before the night was over. Ramblin' Rabbit frantically urged Rollins to bail on the rivalry, only to be silenced by Bray slamming his fist on the table. And while Wyatt vanished from sight following the genial "See You in Hell," Rollins' uneasy stares around the ring implied nervousness had been very reluctant to show moments prior. For all the speculation about how Rollins would respond, it's starting to look like he might simply be along for the ride on this one.
Oh yeah, he is. He is going to get fucked. Great segment, as always. Bray is killing it. This man is going to be the Universal Champion in like 2.5 weeks or whatever it is. Or 2 weeks, I guess it would be, right? Yeah, that's going to be amazing. I am so amped for those two in Hell in Cell. We are killing it with some creepy shit.
Yeah. Okay, I see something about Akam and Razor, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to play it without it messing everything else up. So,
What?
Authors of Pain announced where they've been since WrestleMania.
Oh.
But I'm not...
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. Okay, so Braun Strowman crashed the Tag Team Champions Summit. The Clash of Champions was not Braun Strowman's best night, and the Monster Among Men didn't mince words about how he was going to cope. By delivering these hands to whoever was bold enough to so much as set foot in the ring, That turned out to be the new Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and The Revival, all of whom had very good nights at Clash of Champions, all of whom had gathered the Tag Team Championship Summit, and all of whom were absolutely helpless to stop the utter shellacking that Strowman put on them. True to his word, the Mansoor man bulldozed his way through everyone in his path. Only Roode evaded the big man's wrath by dodging his charge at the last second. The less than lucky Ziggler took the full brunt of the attack. Apart from the glorious one's timely escape, though, this was a car wreck, and judging by the look on Strowman's face, it was just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah, I mean, this was interesting, very strange. I don't know if this is going to be something where now that is who Strowman is feuding with until he gets another shot at Wyatt as Universal Champion or something like that. But interesting move to have him just pissed at the tag team division basically and going in after them because he's no longer tag champ.
Yeah, that is definitely something that piques interest.
Yeah, it could hold a good story for him for a couple months.
Yeah, easily. Because then you have each individual tag champion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And of the four, and then you have, combinations and your handicap matches and what have you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The OC defeats Cedric Alexander and the Viking Raiders. As he declared last night at Clash of Champions, Cedric Alexander isn't letting a loss to AJ Styles stop him from making another run at the United States title. He'd better buckle for the long haul, however, as Styles and the OC are clearly planning on making that prospective climb as hard as humanly possible for the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion. Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson were all over Alexander during the six-man tag match that paired the 205 Live veteran with the Viking Raiders, but unlike last week's 10-man melee in Madison Square Garden, Alexander couldn't close. The high-flying superstar landed on the receiving end of a phenomenal forearm and a post-match attack from the entire OC. Also, unlike last night, Alexander refused to take it lying down, throwing hands with Styles after Gallows and Anderson splintered off to brawl with the Viking Raiders. Styles nevertheless ended the night with an upper hand, silencing Alexander with a wicked Styles clash off the turnbuckle. You have to respect a man who refuses to stay down, and there's something to the idea that respect is why Styles and his teammates have chosen to engage in these tactics. That they must see Alexander as a worthy foe if they're trying this hard to make the fight more than it's worth for him.
I mean, this is awesome. I love the fact that Cedric is the one who's feuding with AJ right now. I think they're both amazing. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows got to show off how badass they are, which is something that unfortunately sometimes gets lost on them. Like, they don't get to necessarily be dominant and stuff. They show their in-ring technician skills. Carl Anderson in particular is fucking phenomenal in the ring. So yeah, I mean, I love this. I hope this continues up. I like the OC versus the Viking Raiders. That's a great feud. AJ versus Cedric. That's great too.
Yup. Baron Corbin defeats Chad Gable to win the 2019 King of the Ring tournament. He really did it. Baron Corbin is the king of the ring. And not an angry tweet in the world is going to change that. He earned it, too, capping off a wildly impressive run at a truly hard-fought victory over SmackDown Live's resident wrestling machine, Chad Gable. As likely a candidate for any champion of the future, but only who will have to settle for second place after a last-second heartbreak at the hands of the newly crowned king. Heartbreak is an appropriate word to describe Gable's fate in this tournament. The grappler made like his unofficial motto, scratching and clawing every step of the way to the visible frustration of Corbin, whose inability to put Gable away led to a comeback wherein the Olympian connected with the Chaos Theory and entwined the Lone Wolf's legs with the Grapevine ankle lock. Unfortunately for Gable, None of these big moves were enough to keep Corbin down, and the grappler decided to throw hands in the corner. Corbin shoved his opponent away, gave a counter with a sprint into a head scissors. Corbin swung him into the end of days, and that was it. Corbin now sits on the throne. Whether you like it or not, all that remains is his coronation on SmackDown Live to make it official.
Which could not possibly go poorly. It has to go well.
Yeah, it's got to go perfectly, right?
Right?
Yeah.
No interruptions. It'll be fine.
Yeah, man. It's a coronation. Who interrupts coronations?
Yeah, exactly.
Ricochet defeats Mike Kanellis with the recoil.
Sure.
It's just,
He sure did. This was this is a rough couple segments for my boy Mike Kanellis.
Maria and Mike Kanellis are having a boy. But Raw wasn't much of... Oh, hold on. Oh, jeez. Raw wasn't much about the gender of the baby as it was identifying the father. As it was the identity of the father. Right after the Street Profits helped Maria with a big reveal, the former 24/7 champion implied that Ricochet was, in fact, the father of her child, which led to a slap in the face and a call-out from poor beleaguered Mike Kanellis. Ricochet, stunned to be in the situation, accepted the match, but spent most of it trying to talk the opponent down. Kanellis' continued intensity, however, left the former United States champion no choice but to fight back, leading to Ricochet claiming a quick victory with a recoil. Unfortunately, Kanellis' woes are just beginning.
They sure were. It only got worse for him and better for us from there.
Kind of did. Because Rusev Udria, Rusev Machka. No, Ricochet is not the father of Maria Kanellis' unborn child. Maria was just trying to humiliate Mike to the point that he'd be motivated to defend her, operative word, her unborn child's honor. But the unexpected superstar made a return to add insult to injury when Maria brought a returning shredded Rusev to the stage, heavily implying that he, in fact, was the father of the child. At this point, Kanellis was too beaten down to even care, let alone fight back, which isn't to say the Bulgarian brute was about to let up. Rusev downed Mike with a Machka kick, and the second bell rang, then locked in the accolade to secure an immediate tap-out. Whether Rusev is actually the father remains to be determined. Maria has been known to lie, after all. But Mike is definitely somebody's metaphorical son. If not Rusev's at the very least, Maria's.
Creepy.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is brutal. Rusev is back, so yes, fuck yeah. I guess Rusev's day is dead in everything except for our hearts. But yeah, they're not kidding when they say in this that he was fucking shredded. When he came out, he was looking insane.
That's true. It's very true. Madness.
Yep.
I gotta figure out if I can run 2 live simultaneously.
If what?
I gotta figure out if I can run 2 live simultaneously on the computer.
Oh.
Yeah. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next one. Mayor Glenn Jacobs defeats R-Truth to become the new 24/7 champion. R-Truth will claim the title later that day. Raw in Tennessee tonight. Raw is in Tennessee tonight, so who better to pay a visit than the mayor of Knox County, Tennessee, Glenn Jacobs. The strangely familiar elected official was even happy to take the 24/7 champion R-Truth on a tour of the town, despite what turned out to be some well-founded suspicion from Carmella. As it turned out, Mayor Glenn used his clout to ordain a local policeman as a referee, and therefore is able to pin R-Truth after the champ inadvertently KO'd himself while trying to flee. With Truth knocked loopy with his collision with the goalposts of Neyland Stadium, Mayor Glenn quickly covered his now opponent to win the 24/7 championship. Yep, he still got it, but he didn't keep it for long. Truth followed Mayor Glenn back to the arena by clinging to the roof of his limo and ambushing him with a surprise roll-up to reclaim the title. And while Mayor Glenn, or Mr. President as Truth called him, seemingly let his inner demons get the best of him when he grabbed Truth for an evident chokeslam, the champ calmed down with an oddly poetic defense of the title. as is the case with being a mayor, holding the 24/7 title is a job. At the end of the day, the two are more similar than they are different. It did the trick too, calming Jacobs down enough for him to walk side by side with Truth to Raw. After all, as far as he's concerned, Raw is home.
So this was a genius fucking segment. Kane showing his goddamn his mic and like comedy chops again for the first time in a minute. He was killing it. I thought it was genius, the ordaining a police officer as a ref and luring him to an empty stadium so he could pin him in on the fucking field. I mean, that is so fucking funny.
The first title defense in Tennessee.
Yep, exactly. Really good. And it was the thing Truth added of calling Mayor Kane the Mr. President over and over again was fucking genius.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Well, this one's good. This was Rey Mysterio defeated Cesaro.
Yeah, this was a savage match.
If there was any doubt Rey Mysterio was back in the swing of things, so to speak, his victory over Cesaro should set the record straight. Fueled by the Swiss Cyborg's fighting words before the bout, the ultimate underdog put a clinic on and grinded out a victory against his recent rival. It was a much-needed win. The only superstar with more to prove than Mysterio is Cesaro, who was still on the hunt for a signature victory since returning to singles action. Cesaro was out to make a statement, too, working his way through the three amigos down the stretch to attempt to wear Rey down mentally. But Cesaro miscalculated, revving his foe up into a 619 that hit his mark, and even though the King of Swing snatched Mysterio out of the air during the follow-up, the luchador countered with a sunset flip that put the powerhouse down for 3. Textbook. And when you consider the victory comes on the heels of an equally impressive win over Grand Metalik last week, it's safe to say Mysterio's feel-good comeback tour is shaping up to be anything but ceremonial.
Shaq. Yeah, I mean, I hope they do a long feud with Cesaro and Rey. They're both incredible in the ring. They both deserve to have like a good spotlight shown on the fucking skill that they have. And they can both do a 619. So yeah, they should feud for like a couple months.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if they were like two of the people who get drafted onto like the Survivor Series team. And they have to kind of coexist.
What makes the Cesaro Mysterio feud interesting is Cesaro has the power to hold Mysterio.
Yeah.
So, like, if he's going to do one of those, like, spin around the body Hurricane Ranas, Cesaro can sell it. Yeah, and
he'll sell it well.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, then. I'm burping, I'm crying. What the hell is going on here, world?
Pussy.
Listen here. A real man's in tune with his emotions, so you can eat that. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Sasha Banks defeat WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Yo, in this picture, they're showing both of their booties. Anyways, with Sasha...
Yeah,
is it not?
Yeah, it's doing more for Sasha than it is Bayley, which is a shame because Bayley's is ridiculous.
Honestly, they both pack it, but like, you know, we'll just go.
They both are, but Bayley's like in her own league. It's like when the UFC created the lightweight female division for Chris Cyborg, and they just kept having to ship bitches in from other promotions to fight her because they didn't have anybody. Bayley's ass has her own weight division. It's awesome.
Yes, he did just say that, and you heard it here on Tough Talks with Thili and the Block. With Sasha Banks falling short of the Raw Women's Championship and Bayley narrowly holding on to the SmackDown Women's title, it's safe to say the Boston Hug Connection had a mixed night at Clash of Champions. Never once to wallow, however, they seemingly turned things around on Raw with an impressive win over Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. That's the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions beating the current ones, for those keeping score.
So before we go on, I just want to point out how hilarious that line is. Shout out to Anthony Benino, because he said that the Boss and Hug connection were never ones to wallow. Do we all remember what happened after WrestleMania?
Yeah, they wallowed. They took their ball and went home.
Yeah, they hardcore wallowed. Well, Sasha did.
Yeah. No, Bayley did for a minute too, but then she realized she didn't have the same pull Sasha did, so she came back.
Yeah, well, Bayley did the same thing for WrestleMania night, but then, like, she showed up again, like, the next week, like a fucking proper employee. She came to fucking work.
Well, hey man, if you're not meeting my criteria, then I'm not putting out the effort that you want, cause.
True, but then what's Sasha's excuse for not pulling her potential for the times when she was winning?
Well, I mean, like, she was winning, so she had no reason to take her ball and go home.
But then that just makes you more of a baby, because like
Not
winning.
entirely. If I'm winning and carrying a brand somewhere, and that brand isn't acknowledging the work that I'm doing, then I'm not going to do the same work for that brand. It's just...
I would disagree that she was carrying the brand.
She, like, honestly, the Charlotte Sasha feud carried the brand into the Becky, into the man era.
But Sasha had not been in the main event scene or of main event quality, I didn't think, since, right after the Charlotte Flair thing. And the Charlotte Flair thing, there was quite a while before they went into full-on Becky Lynch being the man.
I want to say it was like 2017 through WrestleMania 2019. At least Sasha was in the main event picture.
No, definitely not. Main event, WrestleMania 2019 was the triple threat between Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky.
No, I know that was.
It was months and months and months before that she was in the tag team scene. That's not the main event scene in WWE. That's not the main event.
That's mid card. Tag team titles are mid card stuff. But she was in the main. Okay, so 2017 and 2018, she was in the main event picture.
For sure.
And then she pulled her shit.
For sure. It just took a while afterwards for the Becky thing to kick off, because the Becky thing didn't kick off for at least 4 or 5 months after that. But
and that happened because Nia got injured.
And that was at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because that was in the lead up to Survivor Series, which was in November.
And they need to have a women's Survivor Series team. A women's Survivor Series match.
They do that every.
They do. Yeah. They do. But it needs to be a solid one, a solid team. I don't even know who I'd put on it yet, but we'll get back to that. After that, sure. Bliss was sent to the locker room to receive medical attention. Sasha and Bayley claimed victory when the Boss cranked back on the bank statement to force Cross to tap out. But the victory was quickly overshadowed by the re-emergence of the rivals. Charlotte Flair laid out Becky with a chair in the ensuing post-match confrontation. Among the four horsewomen, seemingly implying the Queen has unfinished business with the hugger. And Becky Lynch was clearly happy to mix it up again with Sasha Banks, fucking idiot, even after beyond a chair swinging confrontation. In fact, the man upped the ante of the Boss's post-brawl challenge for the Raw Women's Championship match at Hell in the Cell in a pay-per-view, challenging Sasha to a bout inside the cell itself. Clearly, there's a world in which the Boss and Hug end up with the titles around their waist. But judging by tonight's events, it's going to be a whole lot harder before they do.
I think Sasha's actually going to win in Hell in a Cell. I think Sasha is going to be the Raw Women's Champion after Hell in a Cell, and I think Bray is going to be the Universal Champion. I think Seth and Becky are going to go on a little couple vacation together, and neither of them will be holding titles. But I do think that Kofi is going to beat Brock at Hell in a Cell. I'm scared because I did hear a report that they're looking to do Bray versus Brock at Survivor Series. But we'll see.
Bray versus Brock?
Yeah.
That would be for a title.
No, it wouldn't.
That would have to be for a title.
No, it wouldn't.
According to Brock?
No,
Brock math?
No, Brock math doesn't mean it would be for a title. Brock math means he would be the champion going into that match already.
Exactly. So it would be for a title.
No, because they'd both be champions. It's Survivor Series.
Oh, shit. Right. Champions face champions.
Yeah, it's brand versus brand at Survivor Series.
Yeah, it's the only time of the year where the brand faces the brand.
So head-to-head, yeah.
And head-to-head action.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't forget the tagline, my dude.
Don't forget that Survivor Series is the only time of the year where Raw and SmackDown go head-to-head in action.
Yeah, except for all the times this year where they did that stupid fucking wild card rule.
The wild card rule was not stupid. The way they used it might have been, but it in itself is a good idea.
But if it's never used in the way that it could be to be good, then it is a stupid idea because every idea they had with it was stupid.
Most recently, they had a couple of good ideas pop over. They had the Charlotte thing, the Charlotte and Becky thing. Those were unexpected.
I don't even recall them mentioning the wild card rule for those, so I don't think those even count as wild card rules because you could just have people show up without it being a rule.
You're just being Corey right now. Anyways, Lacey.
I'm not being Corey. I have been heel on the wild card rule since the week after the wild card rule started.
Okay.
You know this to be true.
I just saw some artwork from my daughter on my LP player. I guess I gotta clean it off a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lacey Evans defeats Dana Brooke. Damn, she even got some. Anyways.
Oh, they all got it.
No, not all of them.
I mean,
I watch wrestling with my wife. Not all of them have it.
who don't have it?
Sorry, Zelina Vega doesn't?
Zelina Vega's got it. You out of your mind.
Nah, bro.
Out of your mind.
Well, maybe I haven't seen it. But there's who else? Hold on, give me a second. I can't even really off the cuff. I don't think Maria is really packing, and I'm not saying there's
You're
nothing.
out of your mind. No, you just confirmed yourself to be out of your mind.
I'm not again. I'm saying I don't know because I'm not seeing. Remember, I'm not watching.
Maria might be able to move into the Bailey weight class. To be brutally honest, they are both ridiculously stacked.
We must be looking at two variables of measurement. We gotta be looking at different variables of measurement.
I'm gonna fix your opinions while you're while you read this.
Oh, okay. Is Lacey Evans ever over losing to Natalya last week? It would appear not. The sassy Southern Belle got to her winning ways on Raw with a victory against Dana Brooke, but the manner in which Evans' triumph suggested her current split series with the Queen of Hearts is weighing heavily on her impeccable shoulders. Even though Lacey connected with a signature woman's right, she ended the match with a variation of Natalya's sharpshooter. The excruciating hold forced Brooke, who looked excellent even in defeat, to submit. But Lacey's mind was clearly on the opponent who wasn't there. As she screamed, "This is for you, Natty," into the camera, applying the maneuver. So, tiebreaker?
Yes, I think there should be a tiebreaker. 1,000%. I'd love to see. I think Lacey Evans is super good. Like, I think she's very good in the ring. I think she's only getting better every match. And I think Natalya is really good for bringing that out of her. Yeah, she's a killer.
All right. And the final Universal Champion Seth Rollins defeated Raw Tag Team Champion Robert Roode via disqualification. From the minute Bray Wyatt hinted at adding Seth Rollins to his wall of friendship, it was only a matter of time before the Fiend made another appearance on Raw, especially given the two are set to battle at Hell in a Cell in 3 weeks. None of them are better than Naomi either way. And true to form, the Fiend made his presence known when the Beast Slayer was at his most vulnerable. Strangely, however, he left Rollins intact for the evening, opting to add a different name to his collection of friends for the time being. The name? Kane, who came to Rollins' aid after the Beast Slayer's main event match against Robert Roode, decided by a disqualification when Robert Roode's partner, Dolph Ziggler, interfered to prevent the 3 count after a stomp. Led to a 5-on-1 attack from Roode, Ziggler, and the OC. The Devil's favorite demon cleaned house, only for the lights to go out and the Fiend to emerge and incapacitate the former WWE champion with the mandible claw. Wyatt didn't inflict the same punishment on Rollins, however, crawling over to the shuddering champion, going face-to-face with him as Raw dissolved into a distorted version of the Firefly Funhouse theme song. They're not friends yet, apparently, but there's plenty of time for that.
That was amazing. I love that. I love the way they ended Raw. I thought that was perfect.
It fucked with me. It fucked with me so royally.
Yeah, it was a trip.
Downloading photo. Listen to me, man. I don't have time for this downloading photo shit.
I don't know why it's having to download. It was a copy-paste job, but...
okay.
Okay,
so...
saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, but there's all airbrush. You remember that?
That ain't the
Oh, there's airbrush.
But that airbrush... Five from ass on that girl in that photo. I'm not saying can't. I'm saying it's not.
That doesn't even look real, bro.
Son, you're out of your mind.
It doesn't look real.
Which one? There's 2 photos there, and they both are.
The upper one looks more real than the bottom one.
One of them is from a fan picture from the ringside on a live event. Like, that's why I'm saying that ain't airbrushed in.
Either way.
They both got it, is all I'm saying. Both of them.
Oh, man. Results.
Got what I mean?
Yeah, maybe I missed... who the fuck? Georgia. Come on, thing. I'm trying to get this thing to load right now, ladies and gentlemen, so bear with me.
This is important. So please, bear with us, because this is an important fact.
Oh, I already see this.
Okay, then not that important.
Eric Rowan and Luke Harp laid out Daniel Bryan and Roman, so I'm in there right now.
No, but I think it's more enemy of my enemy is a friend type bullshit.
Yeah, so that's a team, bro.
No, I don't want that.
That's a team by Kraft, bro. They are doing it. They did it. They kind of did it. Daniel Bryan arrived on SmackDown Live and still insisted to the WWE Universe that Eric Rowan was his friend. But Rowan was not having it. He wasted no time interrupting and reiterated that he would no longer be disrespected by Bryan. In response, Bryan dared him to do something about. Bryan's words quickly turned into a 2-on-1 assault by Rowan, and the recently returning Luke Harper. And the 2 massive superstars overwhelmed Bryan with a massive barrage. In response, Reigns made a beeline to the ring to jump into the brawl. The big dog emerged to bring the fight to Harper and Rowan, but the numbers game was too much. Eric and Luke moved down to a sea of mass security before ripping a ring barrier free and decimating the former Universal Champion. Then drove Bryan through the announce table and left the blue brand completely destroyed. What is the new future of SmackDown Live?
That's a weird question, I feel like, for this section. Because I don't feel like these guys are necessarily pushed towards the future very often. I hope they are. I hope Luke Harper and Eric Rowan go on this, reign of dominance and not necessarily just over the tag team division. I hope they do something with one of them going and getting a title shot. I think that'd be fucking fantastic. But yeah, it was a really good segment. Once again, I said it last week, I'll say it again. Luke Harper being back is always good. everything about Luke Harper being back rocks because Luke Harper is the fucking man.
Honestly, he's got a lot of I don't want to say expendability, but he's got a lot of character, a lot of capacity.
Yeah, he's great, man. He's amazing in-ring technician, and he can do his thing on the promotion and on the mic. They just need to give him more of a chance there for it. Oh, also, I'm going to try to pitch myself into a job here. Brazzers should do a modern day WWE porn parody, and one of the guys should be named Lube Harper.
Lube Harper.
Yeah.
Wow. You just gave away a brilliant idea that you're going to see maybe 2 to 5 years down the road, and all you're going to get out of it is the laughter.
No, I'm going to be I'm going to be the director.
Hey.
I'm going to start a Brazzers Pornhub Wrestling Federation. I'm going to be the head booker.
The head booker.
Yeah. And Lube Harper's going straight for the title.
Oh man. So what? They have to have sex in the ring, like a male-female counterpart. Like, how are you gonna?
It's always intergender matches, except for women's title matches, which are just lesbian matches.
Oh my god! I cannot believe we're actually discussing this on Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
Well, you goddamn right we are.
Heavy Machinery defeats the B Team. Heavy Machinery continued their hot streak, looking dominant as ever while toppling Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. The former Raw Tag Team Champions attempted to slow down the steaming locomotives to no avail, with Dallas falling to the compactor for another decisive blue-collar strong victory.
Yeah, short and sweet, just like the match was, really. The B Team got fucking squashed. If you'll notice here, where it says feature superstars, the B Team aren't even listed there.
No, I saw that. That was a shame. I said, that is so shame.
That is so disrespectful. They're not even listed as featured superstars in the match that they are one half of.
Yep, that's terrible. The look on Corbin's face, though.
That's great. It's great.
It looks like he's trying
I said, nothing could go wrong at this King of the Ring coronation.
Chad Gable ruined Baron Corbin's King of the Ring coronation. What do you mean? Baron Corbin proved to be the ultimate buzzkill for the WWE Universe on Monday night when he defeated Chad Gable in the final round of the King of the Ring tournament. But Chad Gable returned the buzzkill vibes tonight. Corbin was basking in his newfound royal glory with the crown and scepter, but his first royal decree backfired in a spectacular fashion. After summoning Gable to the ring, Corbin had ample insults towards the superstar he defeated in the final. In response, Gable unleashed a destructive attack on the new squared circle monarch, jumping all over Corbin like a spider monkey and wailing him with the scepter. The fired-up competitor cleared Corbin from the ring and destroyed his crown, cape, throne, and everything else in sight to leave Corbin livid.
He jumped on him like a spider monkey.
A spider monkey, wow.
That's so good. Good job, SmackDown recap writer. That was awesome. I can never remember his name. I always remember Anthony Benino's name and his fucking Walter profile picture, but I never remember this kid's name.
It changes. Last week it was someone different. This week it was Radzak.
Oh, okay. That's why I never remember his name, because it's not a single him.
Okay, I just gotta. Uh-oh, down. Spoiler alert. Okay. I can see it.
Okay.
Charlotte Flair defeated Sasha Banks by disqualification. Scheduled to rekindle their iconic rivalry. What is it? What is it they're rekindling?
Yeah, their iconic rivalry.
Okay.
I never debated that they had an iconic rivalry. I said that everything Sasha did post that rivalry sucked until she came back.
Anyways, Sasha Banks went off in one-on-one action as the longtime rivals are each looking to make a statement after both failed to leave WWE Clash of Champions with the title in the waist. And did they ever? Bitter animosity fueled by a fierce showdown between the two combatants from the opening bell, with Bayley acting as an impartial bystander to say the least. When Charlotte locked Sasha in the figure four, Bayley attacked, ending the action in a disqualification and lighting a fuse, a post-match 2-on-2 assault. From out of nowhere, however, Carmella soon hit the scene to even the odds. Mella, clearly fed up with Bayley's recent actions, helped Flair fight off the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion.
Fuck yeah, Mella's money.
What, Mella?
Mella versus Bayley, give me that. All day.
How is Mella in the mix?
Because Mella's money.
Oh, I never doubted that. But, like,
the second she's money, she's in whatever match she wants to be. I love it.
Kevin Owens laid a lawsuit to Shane McMahon. That was
This was awesome.
Some believe that Shane McMahon might rescind his sudden firing of Kevin Owens last week. Nah. Instead, Kevin Owens filed a $25 million wrongful termination suit against O'Mac. With the suit in his hand, Shane came to the ring, spotted KO in the audience, and called him to the squared circle to address the situation. Kevin then laid out every single wrong that Shane has committed over the past several months. Clearly believing in his case, Kevin was confident he would win. And if he did win, there apparently was another clause in the suit, a clause that would allow him to fire Shane O'Mac.
This is so brilliant. It's so brilliant, but so stupid because, like,
Kevin's gonna
that,
win.
that would never be a clause in the contract. But, like, I love that it is a clause in this big contract. It's so good.
I mean, who would put something like that together?
Exactly. Clearly, Kevin has the best lawyers in the fucking industry.
Yeah, that's no doubt.
That's gonna be brilliant. And yeah, Shane's leaving the company. 1,000% Shane is gonna be leaving that
Shane?
company.
Shane. Okay. Yeah, probably. All right. Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn set up Ali with a sneak attack. Looking for payback after losing to Ali 7 weeks ago, Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura emerged to face him in a contest. However, the match was not meant to be. When Sami Zayn grabbed Ali's leg during the pre-match rant, Nakamura took full advantage of the distraction and ruthlessly ambushed Ali, punctuating the assault with a wicked Kinshasa.
Such a good move. I love that move so much. I just want to see him. I would love to see a thing, like a month straight of SmackDown where he's just put in the ring with a jobber and fucking just Kinshasas the living shit out of them week after week.
Didn't they do that for a little bit?
I don't think so. If they did, they should do it again. WWE's never really been afraid of repeating ideas. That's an idea they should repeat if they have.
True. Eric Rowan delivered a chilling message in an exclusive interview. Eric Rowan defeated Roman Reigns in a no disqualification match in WWE Clash of Champions following the shocking return of Luke Harper. With the spotlight of the WWE Universe shining brightly on him, Rowan sat down for an exclusive interview to discuss his recent reign of carnage. Rowan proclaimed that he was a true leader, not a follower, and that he was far superior to Daniel Bryan in every way. Rowan made it clear that no one would ever disrespect him again. And when a 6'8" redwood is talking to you, what do you say other than yes, sir, no, sir?
Yes, sir. No, sir. That's all you say.
That's all you say.
Fucking jack shit out.
Yeah. Unless you go kick him in the dick and run really fast, but even then.
Yeah.
You know?
Even then, you should do it with some sort of, like, pneumatic device that you can trigger from a mile away.
Yep.
That motherfucker's big.
He's huge. Bigger than Lesnar.
He's literally terrifying. Like, every time I look at him, I'm like, oh, fuck. He is what the WWE wanted Oni Lorcan, or not Oni Lorcan. What is that racist fucking guy?
Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, that's what they wanted Lars Sullivan to be, without the racism. And they're like, oh shit, we already had that.
Yeah.
It's like they went out, they bought a Lars Sullivan, and then they're like, oh fuck, we just found the Lars Sullivan that we had in the fucking attic.
Is it?
And this one's not defective, and every time he touches belly, he spouts out the N-word.
Yeah, every time he sees one, he doesn't want to fight them. The New Day defeated Randy Orton and the Revival.
Oh my God.
Brock Lesnar emerges and challenged Kofi Kingston at to a WWE title match.
Thank God you said that.
WWE Champion Kofi Kingston retained his title against Randy Orton at WWE Clash of Champions. But his New Day brethren fell to the Revival, who secured the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. With animosity still strong, Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E teamed up to take on Orton and the Revival on SmackDown Live. The action was non-stop and each side looked for redemption, and after the New Day took the upper hand during a wild scramble, the coast was clear for Kingston to blast Scott Dawson with the Trouble in Paradise for the win. After the match, though, the WWE Universe was stunned, silent by the sudden reemergence of Brock Lesnar. After the gutsy WWE Champion asked Big E and Woods to clear the ring so he could stand alone to meet the Beast, Paul Heyman issued a challenge on behalf of his client. Lesnar wanted to face Kingston in a monumental title match on the Fox premiere SmackDown Live on Friday, August 4th. Once Kingston accepted without hesitation, Lesnar added an exclamation point with an earth-shattering F5. So I might actually get to watch SmackDown now because it... oh, shit. Yeah, I might actually get to watch SmackDown now because it happens on Friday. But if there's an event that I'm planning and it falls on a Friday, I'm screwed.
Oh, because that'll be the same day as the first one?
Yep. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't, because I'm looking for, I'm hearing that there's an event starting in October, and I just get the feeling.
Yep.
I hope it's the second week.
Same day.
I hope it's the second week. But,
yeah, hopefully.
I got to pick my business over theirs, because I'm sure they're picking their business over mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I'm still fucking laughing at every time. He's genius with that line. Holy fuck. that one literally hurt my stomach. He's fucking asshole.
I just had to sneak that one in, bro. Just had to sneak it in. Alright, so we got NXT.
Yeah, I got that up here.
Okay.
I think we can go over it, over all the things. Cause, did you get to any of this?
No, this is all going to be new to me, so by all means, take it.
Alright, because yeah, this was spectacular. So this is the first episode of NXT on USA. Wednesday nights they do the first hour on USA, second hour on WWE Network. First hour on WWE, on NXT is one of the best hours of wrestling I've seen in a while. Because holy fuck, if they didn't go all the way in for their first episode. It started, the very first match of NXT on cable television was Candice LeRae versus Mia Yim versus Io Shirai versus Bianca Belair. That's awesome. Like, that is way too gangster for an opening match. It's so good. But then we'll see why it was. So Candice LeRae defeated Mia Yim, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair in an incredible opening match. All four of these girls are savages in the ring. Each one of them is just as good as anybody else on the roster. And the winner of this, Candice, gets to face Shayna Baszler in 2 weeks on USA Network. That's going to be awesome. I have a really strong feeling Candice LeRae is going to win that match. Just because of Shayna has had it for so long. They want this big first women's title match on cable to be a big feel-good moment, I would think. So yeah, Candice going over in that match would be massive. And I think that's what's going to happen. They absolutely destroyed it. They went on for, I'd say, a good 20 to 25 minutes that match lasted. And every second of it was exciting. Amazing high-flying shit from all four girls. The finish was pretty genius, where Mia Yim swooped in, pushed Shirai to the floor off the top rope. LeRae quickly capitalized, hitting Yim with a poison hurricanrana, which is the reverse Rana, and then hit her with what is essentially a lion salt that they call the K-Brada to claim the deciding fall. Amazing match, and in 2 weeks we're going to get an absolute banger between Shayna and Candice. That's guaranteed. The second match we had Cameron Grimes going up against Sean Maluda. I had heard of Sean Maluda. I had not heard of Cameron Grimes, or so I thought, until after I looked him up after the match was over. The match lasted all of about 5 seconds. Maluda ran at Grimes in the other corner. Grimes jumped up, spiked him with a foot stomp, and got a 3 count immediately. I looked up Cameron Grimes afterwards and realized Cameron Grimes is Trevor Lee from Ring of Honor New Japan fame. So, amazing work. I assume they changed his name because Keith Lee just got signed to WWE a little bit before him, and you don't want to have 2 different Lees on the same roster that are potentially going to be facing each other soon. It's just a confusing name thing. But, yeah, that was amazing. Cameron Grimes definitely one to look out for, because if he continues as good as he was when he was Trevor Lee, it's going to be badass.
I'm noticing something here to do with factions and all factions having titles.
So we're getting to the next match where we had Roderick Strong challenging Velveteen Dream for the NXT North American title, which, as I've said before, for me is one of the most beautiful belts in all of wrestling. I think the North American title is a gorgeous belt. That and the NXT UK title are absolutely stunning belts.
Yeah, but they don't have it for sale.
Pardon?
I don't think they have it for sale.
I think they have the UK title for sale, but they don't have the North American one
title.
yet.
Yeah.
When they do, that is another one that I want to buy for sure. That
I'd obviously buy the North
belt.
American title. Obviously.
You what?
I'd obviously buy the North American title, but I'm still debating on the Universal or the World Heavyweight.
Yeah, exactly. This one was great. I'm actually just going to read their review for this one because they've done it really well. Prophecy fulfilled. Some 9 months after the Undisputed Era guaranteed that all 4 of its members would be draped in gold within the year, Roderick Strong turned the bold prognostication into reality, defeating Velveteen Dream to capture the North American title. The Messiah of the Backbreaker, however, didn't do it alone. The champion and challenger tore into each other with vigor, the epic duel bringing the NXT universe to their feet. But the complexion changed once Dream broke free from the stronghold and the rest of the Undisputed Era arrived at ringside. Strong pulled Dream into the referee, opening the door for his teammates to run interference. The enigmatic North American Dream initially kept them at bay and even kicked out of the End of Heartache after the referee regained his senses. The Undisputed Era's underhanded tactics weren't over, though. And with the referee distracted, NXT champion Adam Cole, Bebe, was free to level the Dream with a super kick, allowing Strong to follow up with yet another End of Heartache and to snare the win and set off the Undisputed Era's long-awaited celebration. With a new championship added to the faction's overstuffed coffers, Cole, Strong, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly's stranglehold on the black and gold brand can no longer be disputed. And that's a goddamn fact.
This is telling me that there's a potential for them to come up for a Survivor Series.
Oh, I'm praying for it. I need UE versus OC. That will.
But they're both heels. They can't put heels against heels.
Oh yes, they can. When it's them. When it's that group of people, you can fucking do whatever you want. You throw them in the middle of a four-sided ring, and they will fuck up everyone's night because they will be the match of the night every time. Every time.
Wow, this outfit is something special.
Like, just incredible. They're so fucking good, and it's incredible. Velveteen Dream, they've been a great North American title for quite a while now. It was time that somebody else took it on, especially if Velveteen can now move on to a feud with Adam Cole, which is what I think is going to happen, since Adam Cole is the one who super kicked them and caused the second End of Heartache. So Adam Cole versus Dream for the NXT title. Give me that feud all day.
Yeah, that'll sell.
Yeah, 1,000%.
That'll sell.
So then kicking off the WWE Network side of the show, Pete Dunne defeated Arturo Ruas. That was a really good match. I had never heard of Arturo before. He's a Brazilian fighter, does a lot of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu style. Actually, no, he does capoeira style fighting.
Damn.
Very interesting. Him versus Pete Dunne was a great matchup because of the two different styles of submission. Really good stuff. Pete won with a that finger lock and the finger cracking thingy that Pete Dunne does, and it just incredible. Great match. We then had Zia Lee fighting Aaliyah. Zia Lee is a savage. This girl is crazy. She calls herself Spicy Girl, which is hilarious. Her Instagram is a really goddamn funny check or follow if anybody wants to check it out. She's a funny chick, and she kills it. Her versus Aaliyah with her partner in crime, Vanessa Bourne. Very good fight, but they're pushing Zia hard. She's going to be up in the main event pretty soon, I think. Then we had a little bit of an NXT UK invasion on the North American main NXT roster. Kushida was set to face Denzel Dejournette, and Dejournette got jumped and beaten by Fabian Eichner, Marcel Bartel, and Alexander Wolf, a.k.a. Imperium. After they had dispatched with him, Walter came out. Walter, as we all know, does not fuck around. So Walter came out and declared that this was his show. And Kushida came out. Our boy, Japanese Marty McFly, came out and, beat and stomped a mud hole in all four of them. Near the end of it, they got split, but that's going to be a good feud, and I think that's actually a genius feud to start showing an invasion angle where we can then maybe SummerSlam weekend we can get Walter versus Adam Cole to have the two NXT brands go against each other at the same time the two main roster brands go against each other. And then we got the two main events. I thought they should have both been labeled as like a co-main event type thing because Lio Rush is back. He's no longer, Bobby Lashley's mouthpiece. He is on his own, and he's in NXT, and he's killing it. He's doing all the dope, high-flying shit we've come to know from him. He beat Oney Lorcan in a number one contender match for the Cruiserweight Championship against Drew Gulak. Coming up soon, we will have the man of the hour, Lio Rush, hopefully dripping in gold, because that 23-year-old piece of gold deserves to have a belt on him. And then the final thing we had was a street fight between Matt Riddle and Killian Dane. It ended in chaos. No victor was declared because essentially the entire NXT roster of both brands sort of all just came out and started fighting.
So it's going to be NXT versus NXT UK at Survivor Series.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what it's going to be. So we're not going to get. I don't think we're going to get the
Takeover.
I don't think we're going to get unless they make Takeover a legitimate takeover.
I think it is. I think it's going to be an NXT UK versus NXT takeover. I think it'll be a versus takeover. Because I'm pretty sure Survivor Series is when they do War Games for NXT takeovers.
I think so. Yeah.
So if they do War Games, then it just makes perfect sense to do NXT versus NXT UK War Games.
Yeah.
So I think that's how they should go about it. That's how I feel they're going about it. But it could also just be they could be at Survivor Series. I would like for the Undisputed Era to pull double duty, obviously, and face the OC at Survivor Series. So them still doing Takeover War Games would be my preference.
Yeah, War Games is definitely a good pay-per-view.
War Games is great, man. I love that. I love the two rings. I wish it was something that they would bring up to the main roster, but I'm also pretty happy for it to be something that NXT has unto themselves.
Yeah. All right. So.
But yeah, that was it. Thanks to the writer of that, Mr. WWE.com staff.
Yep, that's who it was.
No name, no picture.
Nada.
Good guy. He's loved by all, I'm sure.
And this is brought to you courtesy of WWE.com/shows/NXT/2019-09-18.
Yep, big time. That's my homepage when I start up my browser. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like I said, the only other thing, there hasn't been much AEW going on. AEW still hasn't started yet. That'll start October 8th, I want to say, or something like that. Somewhere around there. No, October 9th or maybe 16th, one of those 2 days. But that's when we'll get more into the AEW of it all. Right now, what I would say is AEW better come prepared, because if that's what NXT on USA is going to be like, we're in for a fucking treat. Like, it's going to be a hell of a Wednesday Night Wars.
All I know is, like, I have candid conversations on Wednesday.
Yep.
So that's just to let y'all know to tune in to Candid Conversations on Wednesday coming up.
Yep.
We also have Hardline on Thursday. Sorry, Hardline comes on Friday, and that's at 6 p.m. And then we have the Tyrell Effect at 12 p.m. on Saturdays. And then we follow it up on Sunday with Tough Talks with Thili and the Block. But for those of you who didn't know, we're no longer talking to Thili. We're talking. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to do that, am I?
To do what?
We're talking to a member of the anime-nominated group Choom Gang, Thili.
Yeah, no, I forgot. No, remember I said that's fine up until the 29th, at which point you have to just say winner.
I'm hoping so. I'm knocking on wood for you, bro. I'm knocking on wood for you. It is what it is. So we are going to be here weekly with the latest. I think this 5:30, 6 o'clock slot works.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? It gives everybody time to do what they're doing for their day and then, settle down into the night. But, yeah. Dude, and if you don't hear us live, tune in later at Spreaker.com/THETYRELLEFFECT. Spreaker.com/The Tyrell Effect is where you can see, or hear, rather, Tough Talks with Thili and the Block. And many other podcasts through the week. Check us out.
Yeah, big time. Definitely. We appreciate everyone listening too, for sure. We're getting better at keeping it into that time limit too. Of we're better pacing everything, so it's only gonna get more and more tight from here.
Yeah, you know what? To cover all three, it only took us an hour and 3 minutes. So. Yeah. That was
Killed it.
I was thinking an hour and a half, but this works too.
Absolutely.
The extra half an hour could be for pay-per-view weekends.
That's exactly it. It. Pay-per-views for WWE and UFC.
Yep. All right. Anything else you got to say?
No, that's it. Just thanks for listening.
All right. We appreciate your time. And I'm going to end with the rhyme. Wherever it is, wherever you be, tune in to us for the 1, 2, 3.
Boom.